Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our English grammar class. Today, we are going to learn another very important and interesting topic, active voice and passive voice. Many students get confused about this, but don't worry. By the end of this class, you'll understand everything very clearly. Before we start, let's understand what the word voice means in grammar. In English, voice shows whether the subject of a sentence is doing the action or receiving the action. There are two types of voice, active voice and passive voice. Let's begin with active voice. When the subject performs the action, the sentence is in active voice. In simple words, the person who does the action is called the doer, or the subject of the sentence. Let's look at some examples of active voice. Example 1. The boy kicked the ball. Here, the boy is doing the action. He is the doer or subject, and the ball is receiving the action. That's why this is active voice. Example 2. The teacher explains the lesson. The teacher is performing the action, explaining. So again, this is active voice. Example 3. She is cooking dinner. The subject is she, and she is performing the action cooking. So this is active voice.
Sir, so in active voice, the subject always comes first?
Exactly right. In active voice, the structure is subject plus verb plus object. That means the subject, or doer, comes first, then the action, and finally, the receiver, or object. Now let's understand passive voice. When the subject receives the action instead of doing it, the sentence is in passive voice. Let's see some examples of passive voice. Example 1. The ball was kicked by the boy. Here, the ball is not doing anything. It is receiving the action. That's why this is passive voice. Example 2. The lesson is explained by the teacher. The lesson is receiving the action of being explained. That's why this is passive voice. Example 3. Dinner is being cooked by her. Here, the dinner is receiving the action of being cooked. So this is passive voice.
Sir, how do we change a sentence from active to passive voice?
Excellent question. Let's understand this step by step. How to change active voice to passive voice. 5 easy steps. Step 1. Identify the subject, verb, and object. For example, the boy kicked the ball. Subject, the boy. Verb, kicked. Object, the ball. Step 2. Move the object to the beginning of the sentence. Now it becomes the ball. Step 3. Change the verb into the correct to be form based on the tense. Since kicked is past tense, we use was. Step 4. Add the past participle form of the main verb. Kicked stays as kicked. Step 5. Add by and the original subject, the doer. Now the sentence is, the ball was kicked by the boy. That's the passive voice. Let's try another example. Active, the teacher teaches English. Passive, English is taught by the teacher.
Sir, does the verb always change in passive voice?
Yes. In passive voice, we always use a form of to be, like is, am, are, was, were, be, been, or being, followed by the past participle of the main verb. That's the golden rule for forming passive voice. Let's quickly compare both voices. Active voice, the boy kicked the ball. Passive voice, the ball was kicked by the boy. Active voice, she writes a letter. Passive voice, a letter is written by her. Active voice, they are cleaning the room. Passive voice, the room is being cleaned by them. Active voice, he will finish the work. Passive voice, the work will be finished by him. See the difference? In active voice, we focus on who does the action. But in passive voice, we focus on what happens or who receives the action.
Sir, so in passive voice, we care more about the action than the person doing it.
Exactly. We use passive voice when the action or result is more important than the doer. Let's quickly remember when to use passive voice. When we don't know who did the action. My wallet was stolen. When the action is more important than the person. The bridge was repaired last week. When we want to sound formal or polite. The report will be submitted tomorrow. So, active voice focuses on who does the action, and passive voice focuses on what happens or who receives the action. Practice both carefully because both are very important in English grammar. Thank you, students, and thank you, my YouTube friends. Keep practicing and don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel, Master English World, for more simple and fun grammar lessons.